What's up, guys? What's up, Brennan, Cryptics, Wolf, Dark Arts? What's up, brother? Hey, guys, what a beautiful day in the markets today. Going to sleep, just came to say hi. What's up, Demo Cryptus? I think you have at least popped in the chat in every single stream I've done, so I appreciate that, bro. Tolerable Trader, what's up, man? Rob. Amar Pal 1995, what's going on?
What's up, Brennan?
Oh, gotta mute that. Sun Juice, what's up, buddy? Willie, you Kazi Lemon Licking Legend, what's up, Billy? What's up, Crypto Seneca? How's everyone doing? You guys thriving? Catch some longs? I'm gonna have to mute my mic every little bit because I just got done working out and I'm just chugging water, and you guys probably don't need to hear that. What's up, Dog, Changus, Charlie, Mathis? Hope everyone is doing well. No problem, Jonah. What's up, Danny, Wessel? All right. Good amount of people have flowed in, so I say let's get started. Long the retest of 48K. Well played, bro. Attila, hey. How's it going? All right. So, if you guys remember, what's going on? All right. If you guys remember, this is the range we had been working with for a little bit. We swept this low, but we're not able to flip the mid-range. We got rejected here twice. And then it was like around here, I think, when I was doing that Twitch stream. And we were looking for a move up here to short because I felt this was still going down. Or the other scenario we were looking for was a reclaim of this level. We unfortunately did not get either of those triggers because it kind of just bled off down here. But that's all good. We didn't lose a trade or anything like that. We planned for two scenarios around this 48.5K level, and neither of them triggered. So no harm there, Sometimes that's going to happen. You're going to plan some trades and they won't trigger, and then you move on to the next thing. So it did end up selling off. So a short right there would have been nice because we probably would have been able to catch something with a pretty tight risk to reward with an invalidation at the top of that sweep targeting that low. So it would have been a really nice trade, but it just didn't give it to us, and that is A-okay. So we dumped down a little bit, and I don't know if you guys remember. I'm actually really, really proud of this. But I did not mean to retweet that, but sorry, Andy. I love you, though. Okay, here we go. I was talking about how everyone, literally every single person I saw on Twitter, was talking about buying 38 to 41K. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we talked about this on stream a couple times. I didn't just tweet it, that I thought we would fill in like half the gap, and then everyone would just be like, no, like that's not right. We have to fill in the whole thing. We have to go lower, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, to the literal tick, we filled half of this. There's our little gap, and we came to right here, maybe just under halfway. But still, like, are you serious? That's crazy. It's just funny how that was almost predictable, how everyone just wanted to buy either this high or like this level and look to get this gap filled, and it didn't. So that was pretty funny. Posted this chart. That looks pretty much halfway to me. So Anyway, when I saw this daily close, I was like, okay, this This closes bullish. We swept these lows again, filled part of the gap, and also took out this low right there. So at that point, I was like, okay, it's time to start building some long exposure. I saw this rejection and was like, oh, maybe it's not ready yet. But then it grinded up, and then once it flipped this daily SR, I was like, all right, I think the temporary low is in for now. So that played out really nicely, and I did get long around here. I was targeting this mid-range, took some profit there, and I still have a little left on, about 30% left on for this range high, and this supply, that's a lower time frame level, don't need that right now, and this right here. So let's see. I am looking to compound this. I don't think it goes straight up to there. I think that would be a little unlikely, but you never know what exactly could happen. So we're kind of taking it one step at a time. We have put in, well, not quite, but we're putting in Monday's range right now. And once again, we have a pretty big Monday's range, but let's mark this up together. And for those of you that haven't been in my streams before, I appreciate that you're here. And we will be we'll definitely cover Ethereum and Litecoin. I always pretty much cover those three, but I like to start with Bitcoin because a lot of stuff hinges off Bitcoin. So I start with Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and then I am happy to do a few chart requests. We don't do a ton, and then I'll probably talk about Sol, FTT, and Serum. And then I also entered some longs on Sushi, Atom, and Rune yesterday. So yeah, we can talk about that in a bit. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up of the schedule of how I usually do these. So this is still pending, 12 minutes left until the daily close. And so this still could, like Monday's range isn't locked in here yet. It still could change a bit, but let me just show you guys some levels I am watching. First of all, I'm gonna delete this for now. I don't like to have too many levels that are far away from price, but because I can always put those on later, and I feel like it just crowds the chart a little bit. This is daily SR right here. That's the black line that I have marked daily SR. This was the low that we swept with this wick. We have I wouldn't say low time frame, medium time frame range, I guess. From this initial low to the initial high, I really like the mid-range interactions here, and then also the rejections there. So I really like that range. And then we have 4-hour supply here and daily supply up here. But that's not the most important level because it's a little further away. So I want to focus on what is closer to price right now. In 1 second, let me take a sip of water. All right. So that's kind of the breakdown of what I'm seeing right now on those are my higher time frame levels, I guess, or some of them. Actually, I'm not done yet. We also have the monthly open here. That's this blue line. My monthly opens are blue. My weekly opens are green, and my daily opens are red. If you've been watching these for a while, you know this, but for those that don't, quick breakdown. This is our 4-hour breaker because this was the up move that led to the down move that took out stop losses. So I'm going to highlight that. Make sure that is at the back like so. And let's keep it gray. I think that's the gray I use. And I'll extend this a little bit. All right. All right. This guy too. So I don't know if we're going to get this. But any pullback to this 45, 46 is an easy long for me. And that doesn't, like, that. I don't think that would be bearish. I don't think that would be a bad sign if we pulled back that far. I know it would be a little bit deep of a pullback, but probably nothing too out of the ordinary. Oops. Oh no, that just turned white. I need to change back some of these. Oh yeah, look at that. You guys, I can't make this stuff up. I know the chart's getting a little messy, but if you can see, we'll zoom in really close. Our 0.62 is right, like, directly on top of the 4-hour breaker. So that is some great confluence, and that's if this high holds. So that's still subject to change. But that is some great confluence. We also have the monthly open, and we also have Monday's low, which is untagged, obviously, because today is still Monday. But all those levels in confluence, to me, would be one heck of a long, something like this. Maybe Tuesday, tomorrow, we kind of chop around a little and dip or whatever, and then maybe we get like a quick dump later in the week and then trend up for the rest of it. But overall, I do think that it is possible that our medium term low is in. There's no reason for me to expect that it's not. I think the objective was to grab some liquidity, and I know a lot of people probably got chopped up in this range, long in the dip over and over. We took out this low. We filled in part of this gap right here. So I do think it is possible that this pulls back. That this is our low. But I'm not fully convinced of that yet. So I'm not going to say, yep, it's for sure the low is in, but I do think we have more upside objectives before we go down further. So, and by that, I mean, I think we could end up doing something like this, go up here, and then come down and make a low, and then go further up. Who knows? Like, literally, who knows what's going to happen? But for right now, I think this low holds. If we go up and tag daily supply up here and then make another low just barely and then keep going up from there, like I have no problem with that scenario either. But what I really wanted to see from this daily close, which we are getting in 5 minutes, is a close above this pink mid-range, and it looks like we are absolutely going to get that. This was also these equal highs. So daily close up here is really good, and while I would have longed this earlier, I feel a lot more comfortable now that we have a strong daily close, a break in structure on the 4-hour time frame because we got above this. Now I think you buy the retest and target this and the range high if we get it. If not, we'll adapt and find out another plan. But for now, this is what I'm looking for. Let me just catch up on the chat really quick. Can you cover Litecoin? Yes, I will. Have any positions in play? Yes. I am long Spot, Sol, and Serum. I am leverage long Sushi, Atom, and Rune. So, because you're the man cause, thank you, brother. Can we cover Ethereum? We sure will. Let me just look at it really quick. I had bids down here, but they never filled. Bummer. We'll see. Maybe it'll come back. But I will go more in depth. Hydrate, young cause. I'm doing my best. Deeper pullback possible, 41K. I think it's possible. I just don't think it happens yet. So I kind of just laid that out. I think it's more likely we come up here before downside. But we'll see. If we take out this high, I would probably get short. Looking for at least this, and if it just nukes through that demand, I mean that 4-hour breaker, then I would hang on to it for a little longer. But for now, I do think our temporary low is in. Price target for Link It's honestly very difficult to just pull a price target out of my butt. I would be completely guessing. But I trade level to level, so I can't just say, oh, I think it's gonna go to X. It's like if it breaks some level, if it breaks like this, then I'll be looking for it to go to this high or whatever. We can talk about link later, but it's hard to just say arbitrary targets. What's up, Tristan? Thanks for being here, man. We'll have to do a stream together sometime if you're down. I would be if you are. So just shoot me a DM sometime and we can try and get something figured out. Okay. Back to Bitcoin. We get our daily close in 3 minutes, but like I said, the fact that we are getting a strong daily close makes me more comfortable. I didn't want to retest this 4-hour level earlier in the day and then close the daily here, because that probably would have made me think that we pushed down a bit more. So this is really good. You can't really ask for a better way to start the week, but I think after seeing this candle, people are probably thinking oh, up only mode again, and that we just go straight like this. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we could push up a little bit, come down a bit, and then keep going. But I mean, that's kind of guesswork right now. We, as I said before, we're taking this level to level. I don't really want to short out of nowhere, but I will be looking to long a dip here. And if it did take out this range high, or if we kind of consolidated for a bit and then took out Monday's high and broke down here, I would probably look for a intraday short between those two levels, something like that. Okay, I feel like that is pretty clear as far as Bitcoin plans go. I think we can move on to Ethereum now. I mean, we got a minute until the daily close, so I'm pretty sure that this high holds and that we have our Monday's range locked in here, but we'll see. Ethereum, pretty similar. So Ethereum came directly into a weekly support. Do I have this drawn off daily? Okay, yeah, I have it drawn off daily demand. So this was the last little bit of selling before our impulsive move up. So that tells me someone was loading up in this level. And then we got a nice sweep into daily demand, and we've pushed up directly from there. Really, really clean. That's exactly where I would have wanted to see Ethereum bounce from. Right around here, I set some orders, some limits for this 4-hour breaker, similar to the Bitcoin setup, but they have not filled, so that's not super relevant. I do think it's possible that it comes back there, but that would be a bit deeper. Well, actually, not too much. Let me just see how far that is. I don't use Fibonacci retracements for entries. I would never just enter based off of a fib level, but sometimes I'll pull them up to get a idea of how deep of a pullback something would be. Ethereum looks pretty good though. We are back above this low, which is the initial low from the dump, and that was Monday's low. And we've kind of broken through this little consolidation, but similar to Bitcoin, I don't want to buy right here. If you're not in already, all right, and there's our daily close. If you're not in already, I don't really see the point of buying right now. Sure, it could keep going up, but this doesn't give me any entry trigger that follows my rules, so I wouldn't just buy in the middle of nowhere. I will be looking for setups if we do get a pullback. I think maybe if Bitcoin does pull back to around here, which I'm sure people would start feeling super bearish if we get back in the 45s, but I would be pretty happy with that. I think Ethereum would do something like this, And if it does wick back into this daily demand and the 4-hour breaker, and then get back above the monthly open, I think you could put your stop up to whatever the low is. So you could probably, I will have some bids here, stop loss down here, and if we come down, fill that, and then break above here, then I will move my stop up to this low, and then as we keep breaking market structure to the upside, I'll keep moving it up to whatever lows we have. So that's kind of the plan. If it runs away without me, I'll find a leverage play in a different spot. That's just something that you kind of need to realize. Like with spot holdings, you want to buy it on a dip, buy it at a low price. But when you're trading with leverage, like it doesn't matter if I'm trading Ethereum at $3,000 or $1,500, like I'll still be looking for the same type of setups. And if they give me triggers, then I take the setup. And you can make just as much trading Ethereum at $5,000 as you can $1,500. You know, buying spot is obviously different, but when you kind of keep that in mind, you're not just going to enter a leverage long here just because you think it'll go up. Like you can do that at any time. So that's kind of the general view on Ethereum. Let me put our new range on here. There we go. And I'm going to take this one off. Sometimes I'll leave a previous one on, but don't always need to. So Litecoin's price action was a little bit different. Where do I have stops on Bitcoin right now? Wouldn't you like to know? I'm just kidding. With my trade from down here, I've been trailing it up pretty aggressively. Like I would not be upset. Like when I'm in a trade and I expect it to pull back sooner or later, I trail it up more aggressively than if it's a bigger picture trade, I guess you could say. And so I've moved my stop up to here, and that would be right under where my first take profit was. If it goes up to this range high, I'll take some more off there. But like I said, I already closed 70% of this, so it's not even that huge anymore. But yeah, please don't run my stops. So Litecoin's price action looked a little bit different. I think that it had a hourly breaker that looked a little cleaner to me, and that's what I set limits for. When we broke, Litecoin was a little weaker. You can see with Ethereum, it had the open and then retested it and pushed up from there. Bitcoin didn't even retest it. It pushed up, pulled back a little, but didn't retest the monthly open. And Litecoin broke below it. And so when it broke below, I was like, oh, I'll probably get this fill right here. But then it just reclaimed it, and I wasn't awake at that point. So was not able to long this. Had some limits. They didn't fill. It's all good. I would look for the same setup if it ends up pulling back, but for now I'm just going to stay patient. Let's see. And kind of similar to like all these Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin all look pretty dang similar. Monday's low is a little different for this guy though. Oops. This high broke it. They all look pretty similar. It's kind of either we get a pullback early in the week, take out Monday's low into this breaker, reclaim the monthly open, and then look for more upside from there. Or we wait until more price action forms and we get a setup later. Like maybe this just ranges for a bit, ranges, and then starts breaking out. We might be able to look for a like range continuation play, but yeah, for right now, it's pretty similar pretty similar price action. Let me just cover what this level, similar to the Ethereum one. Whoa. I still have some white lines on here. I think this is daily SR. Yeah, because I changed my theme back. But so we had daily SR and also daily demand. It's pretty much the same kind of level as what Ethereum had. And we got a sweep into it, bounce right at daily SR, and we've pushed straight up from there. So big picture, like this is exactly where I would have wanted to see Litecoin bounce. This is exactly where I would have wanted to see Ethereum bounce. Like we literally could not break this 1440 level for a month. And then we finally did. And so I wouldn't just expect us to nuke right through a level that it took us a month to break. So that's why longs were definitely the move this close to that SR level. Getting a nice little push off the daily open, but if you guys remember from all the other daily close streams that I've done, I don't really trust aggressive moves at the beginning, so we'll see what happens. Psychobot just longed 49,631. Thoughts? Don't really have any. I mean, everyone's got their own system. I know altcoin Psycho has found success with his bot, and so all power to him. But a bot going long or short doesn't change my view or my analysis at all. So do you ever have a rule of number of trades open at the same time to manage exposure? Seems like you had a lot open today. For spot trades, I don't have a rule for that. For leverage trades, I do, and it is 4 unless stops have been moved in profit, and then I'll let myself enter another one. So that's kind of how I've always done it. Thanks that you switched back from dark mode, no problem. But yes, my stop is around 48K. I entered at 45, so if this just nukes straight from here, I'm not going to be too upset. And I do think that if we break below here, that we will come down further. And so I think I'll be able to re-enter around 45K. And honestly, if this comes up here and then breaks back below Monday's high, I probably would just close the rest. Hey Kaz, can you recommend a material to learn trading? Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of free stuff you can find out there. I do these free streams. Trader Main does free streams. Cold-Blooded Schiller, he does streams twice a week, and those are really insightful. SZ does weekly free streams. So I think those are all good things to watch to kind of get a better understanding. There are a couple paid groups that you could join if you're into that type of thing. But I don't think it's necessary to pay for education. I think it can be, I think there's enough free resources, but I also do think that Crypto Creds videos are also very good. Good beginner content. Could you type those names in your I can type them in the chat right now. Cold. Okay. I typed it in the chat if you want to write that down somewhere. Let me see. Sorry. Let me catch up. How do you take profits percentage-wise? I don't have strict rules on percentage profits that I take off, but it's usually around 25 to to if I hit TP1 or whatever, I'll usually take 25% and maybe trail my stop up. But if it hits a target and that was like my total target, I'll just close the whole thing and I can re-enter either on a flip of that resistance. Yeah, Cred and Donald also have really good streams. Add that. CBS, Main, SZ, Cred, Donald, Karush has some stuff. He posts a lot of good stuff for free too. Sometimes I do like to just close the entire trade and get back in on the flip of resistance. So like if this pushes up here and is right here, I'll close my trade, and then if it comes down, whatever, I just don't need to worry about it at all. Maybe it ranges for a while and I'm not stressed out one bit because I'm not in the trade, and then whenever it ends up breaking through, you just get back in. You didn't miss out. You saved yourself from paying funding this entire time, and you're back in right where you left off. And now it has a higher probability of continuing than when it's approaching this level from the downside. So that's another thing I'll say about taking profit. Who or what is CT? It stands for Crypto Twitter. ICT is a different person though. ICT is Inner Circle Trader. There's a lot of free content out there though. My buddy Adam has a really good free blog that you can check out, and he posts a lot of good content there too. So here's his free blog, and that's all just really solid free resources. So you can check that out. He's a beast. How do you find the levels? Is it just fib level or demand? I trade a combination of ranges, supply and demand, and SR. Do you ever worry about missing the ride if you close it early? No, because I hold spot, and my spot holdings are more than my trading account anyway. And so when I'm talking about taking trades, like that's a leverage trade. So if I close my Bitcoin long here and it does this, like, yeah, I missed out plenty, but because of all the Bitcoin spot I hold, I'm not going to be mad one bit. Okay. Do you ever worry about, no, if you have trades open overnight, do you do anything differently? No, I kind of just trust the analysis. If I do have a new invalidation level, I will move my stop up. This is about to hit $20, isn't it? This is flying. We'll look at that in a sec. If I have a new invalidation, I'll move my stop up, but I never arbitrarily move my stop loss to break even, because I think moving your stop to break even, like there's no technical reason for doing that. That's the link to Abe Adams' website. Yeah, so that's how I feel about stop losses to break even. How do I feel about quarterly contracts as opposed to perps? It just depends. There's a time and place for both of them, I think. I think the perps, if you're trading with a lot of size, it's better to stick to that because there's less liquidity for the others. If you're opening a swing trade and you don't want to have to worry about funding, there are advantages to the futures contracts as well. Right now, like, funding isn't even that high, so I don't know. Tristan says, if you're worried about missing out, just take profit in quarters or thirds and leave the last quarter third as a runner. Yep, I completely agree. You guys should give Tristan a follow on Twitter as well if you don't already. This is his Twitter. Let's see. All right, let's move on to some more coins and then go from there. FTT had a really clean setup. We had equal highs up here, range low here. I like the interactions with the mid range, and then we came and swept the low. So that was a heck of a setup. I've been holding FTT for a while. If you guys don't know, I wrote that like 17 tweet thread or something crazy like that on it back when FTT was like $4. And so I haven't traded the perp, FTT perp, a lot, but this would have been a good opportunity if I caught it like when it got back in here, like maybe on this close. I might have entered some, but I didn't catch it in time. But this looks super bullish. I think a flip of the mid range. It's going for these equal highs. I don't see why it wouldn't. And yeah, FTT is just, for so many reasons, fundamentally and technically, I think FTT is a great coin to hold and also trade. Sushi. All right, everyone wants to see sushi. So sushi was going crazy for a long time, just absolutely ripping, right? And then we kind of started to form a range. I don't want to say top out, but it started to form a range for a little bit. And that's kind of what happens after you're going straight up for so long. It has to cool off a bit. And that's kind of what happened. It did cool off some, and we've just been ranging now for a little bit. This is the weekly range from a couple weeks ago. Right here from 2 weeks ago. And we took out the low. Rejection from the mid-range a couple times. And yeah, now it's going for the range high. I think if we sweep the range high, it might come back down to this 4-hour demand right on the mid-range and then go up. But whatever ends up happening with sushi here at the range high, I think once this breaks out, I think it just starts trending again. So maybe it does something like this. As soon as it gets back above the range high, and that's a breakout of however long this is, breakout of consolidating for nearly a month. Like if it takes a few more days, it will have been a month. Then I think it just starts trending again, and that would be another great long opportunity for sushi. So yeah, I guess this might hit $20 while we're on stream. Price predictions on FTT. FTT is an interesting one because obviously you can compare it to Binance, to BNB. BNB has kind of been blowing up recently, but before all the BSC stuff came out and Binance, I guess it's like an alternative for Uniswap. Like I really have not gotten into all that stuff as much as I probably should have, but I think you can compare it with BNB's market cap. If you want to look for price targets, I talked about some targets in that thread from a while back. And so, yeah, I mean, I really don't have an exact target for FTT, and I stake like all of my FTT because you get a bunch of rewards for staking. Like I get serum every single day because I stake my FTT. And so, yeah, I don't even know when I would close it because I want to keep getting the rewards from staking it. So, that's the tricky part. But that's also why I think it's going to keep going so high, because I think a lot of people like me are just going to keep staking it. How do I manage, or do I manage my spot positions frequently? I don't manage them frequently, but I do manage them sometimes. Like if I think Bitcoin, let's say, let's see. This is a range I haven't talked about in a little bit, but one that I really like on Bitcoin. Delete this. I know this chart's getting kind of messy, but we have daily supply up here. So let's just, hypothetically speaking, if Bitcoin grinds up here, sweep into daily supply, I would likely take a short to hedge some of my spot holdings. And so in that sense, I do manage spot. So if I took a short, let's say I have 10 Bitcoin or whatever number you want to, we'll say 1 Bitcoin to make it easy. If you hold 1 Bitcoin and you want to hedge your Bitcoin, you could short 1 Bitcoin up here if you think it's going to come back down. And then it's basically like you're holding USDT or USD. Sorry, my little Roomba vacuum thing just banged on the door. It's basically as if you're holding USD. Like if you short 1 Bitcoin and you hold 1 Bitcoin, it's a perfect 1-to-1 hedge. And that way, this comes down, you make money from your short, and you can put that right back into Bitcoin, and you'll have more Bitcoin after it dips than you did before. So I will short like the BTC perp to hedge my spot holdings, but I sell spot very rarely, and I definitely think I'm one of the more bullish people on crypto Twitter big picture. Like I really do just want to stack more and more Bitcoin. I think a lot of people on CT trade Bitcoin because like it's a great asset to trade. And I do that as well, but I also just really believe in the fundamentals of Bitcoin as well. So for that reason, I don't unload spot a lot. FTT is nice to trade. Yeah, I agree. FTT is, I mean, if you want to see the definition of an uptrend, just look at this. It's gone crazy, but it's pretty much just consistent. Higher highs, higher lows, and then it really went parabolic here. It's kind of funny. I posted that thread in December, somewhere in here, and I was really hoping it would just keep doing this so I could accumulate more. But then it just started going straight up, and yeah, kind of a bummer. Let's see. On what do I stack your coins? Do you mean where do I trade my coins? I trade on FTX. I have a 10% fee discount if you'd also like to trade there. I think it's not pretty much, I think it's the best place to trade. You can find it on FTX, Forest Gains, and that's also where you can stake it. And when you stake and just have FTT, you get even more of a fee discount. You get Serum as a reward. And so, yeah, super, super clutch. They integrate FTT really, really well to their exchange. And that's part of why I was so bullish on FTT, because I was bullish. Like, I think FTX is kind of the best crypto exchange. And so it's like, if I can invest in their token, FTT, as early as I did, it just had so much upside because FTT was at such a low market cap. Here was my original thread on this guy back in the day. Talk about how they have multiple incentive schemes to make people buy and hold FTT. They burn FTT every week, so the supply is only going down, and you get up to a 60% fee rebate and maker fee rebate. Referral rates go up. They do a bunch of stuff to make FTT more desirable to hold and to buy. So that's that. If you guys want to read that thread, I'll chuck it in the chat so you can see it. Okay, let me catch up on these. I stake on FTX. I don't know if you can stake FTT anywhere else. Do they have coin margin perpetuals? What do you mean coin margin? They have perpetual futures and they settle in USD. You can't use FTX US in NY in New York. That's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, the whole FTX or the whole Sam coin ecosystem is I'm pretty bullish on. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin a little bit more here. We're pushing through Monday's high, which is good. That's good to see. That's a sign of more strength. So I think either we keep pushing up, and if it breaks down below here, I probably close the rest of my long, or if it tags this supply and sweeps that range high, I would close the rest of my long. It doesn't have to come back here. And when I say I would take a long here, that doesn't mean that I would it doesn't mean that I think Bitcoin is going to come back to 45K. It just means that if it does, I think it's a great setup to long. So I get that. I get that on Twitter a lot. Like I'll post a setup saying like I would long if Bitcoin dips down to here, and then people are like, oh, so you think it's going down to 45K, so you're bearish. It's like, no, not at all. I just see a possible setup there that would meet my criteria, and I would take it if it happens. It doesn't mean it's gonna, but yeah, that's always something I feel like I need to clarify that more often than I should have to, if that makes sense. Let's see. You guys wanted me to take a look at DOT. DOT looks pretty good. I was looking for it to break above this mid-range, and it just did that after being rejected here and here. So that's good to see. Looks like there's a flat bottom on this daily candle. I think, let's see. We have a 4 hour? No. Oops. If it pull back into here is a long, in my opinion. And you could I'd probably put my stop there. You could probably get away with it here. But nah, actually I wouldn't put it there because it could come back and take out this low into the monthly open and then reverse from there. So if you put your stop loss here, you're basically putting it right in support. And so something I try and ask myself, like, is my stop loss an ideal entry for someone else? And if I put it right there, then the answer probably would be yes. So for DOT, if it pulls back to this mid-range, kind of an hourly breaker there, I chuck my stop loss here, target Monday's high. It's not a bad setup. And then the next target would be this high. Yeah, let me look at Link. Here it is. Man, I really thought Link was bottomed out after this dump because it went right into this daily demand, which is the same level we were talking about on Ethereum and Litecoin. Like it pulled back further than everything else, but ended up going deeper. It is what it is. Let me mark up some levels here. We got the monthly open. Link never took out this low though, but that one went deep. Like this probably pulled back 40 something percent. Yeah, 43%. Crazy. Then let me get Monday's range on here. I love Tuesdays and Wednesdays because you just formed Monday's range. It's fresh. You got some new levels to start doing business. I don't need a market because we already bounced from there, but we ended up bouncing from this weekly demand. Let's see. I would say it's hard to pinpoint it exactly, but on a daily perspective, I would say this is kind of our SR level to keep an eye on. Similarly with the other ones though, if this, like a pullback to around the monthly open would definitely be a long for me. And if we don't get those setups, then it's like I'll just look for something else. But right now that kind of looks like the move, especially if these all get rejected. Like if everything pushes up right here off the daily open and then breaks back below Monday's high, I think we're getting our retrace like today or tomorrow. But yeah, I'd definitely be a buyer around there. I'm starting to yeah, look at that. Bingo. All right. Sorry, I just had to respond to something. But yeah, I think it'd be good overall if we get a little bit of a pullback. I think people are definitely feeling bullish, and that's like with a good reason. You know, we've gone straight up since yesterday. But if you just go straight up like this at the same degree, it's not sustainable, and also you don't build any support on the way up. So I do think it would be healthy to consolidate for a bit, dip down to here, and then when you get back above, like this support that you built there is now reclaimed and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see where this hourly candle closes, if it sweeps Monday's high already. I guess this is 4-hour supply. Dun dun dun. Oops. All right, well, I'll probably wrap this up pretty soon. Sushi didn't hit $20, so I'm kind of pissed. Just kidding. Did that literally just print like a perfect equal high? Just about 901891. Yeah, guys, you've heard it here a million times. Fade aggressive moves right after the daily open. All right, I'll do this last one, and then I think I'm going to call it. I need to go eat something. I would not long this right here after it's pushed up this much. Like, I think it's bullish. I think it's probably cooling off for a little bit, but yeah, I don't really see a setup here at all, and it wouldn't surprise me if it just ranged for a little bit, because like some other coins we've seen, this isn't a sustainable uptrend. Like, it's not just going to go straight up for forever. It could range for a bit first before pushing up again. I guess it doesn't really have, yeah, it's at all-time highs, so it doesn't really have any resistance up here, so there's not specific spots you can look to TP to take profit at. But I mean, I wouldn't feel super comfortable being aggressively long on something that has pushed up this much and is just consolidating right now. Could it push up more? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't really see a setup here for me to take. If we pull back but not as low as the monthly open, where else would you long? Good question. So, I would probably be looking to play this mid-range and Monday's mid-range. Like, if it pulls back to here, maybe just goes into this demand and then gets back above, then I'd probably enter along with a stop loss there. Something like that. So I'd look for a dip into wherever, and then whenever it starts bouncing, I'll look for a resistance level that I would want to see it reclaim, and then I'd get long on that. All right. Thanks for the review of the market. No problem, Danny. What do I mean by fade aggressive moves? I just mean fade basically just means like go against whatever's happening. So if we get the daily open and it pumps, like, I think you could short that. And if you get the daily open and it nukes, I think you can long that. So that's what I mean by fading aggressive moves. Live is so much more insightful than an edited day recap published the day after. I completely agree, because it's like it's like everything we do, because the market doesn't close, is so time sensitive, you know? So you kind of have to do it live or record like a 20-minute video and post it immediately, or else, yeah, it's just not as helpful. About 10% of my spot is being leverage traded. And every now and then I'll move Bitcoin into my spot holdings. All right, guys, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like the video, just so we can keep growing the YouTube channel, keep helping out people for free. And if you'd like to support me and help me do more of these, feel free to use my FTX referral link. I trade there every single day, so I'm not just telling you to go trade somewhere that's random. But you don't have to. You will get a 10% discount on fees if you would like to. And I'll probably do another video either, I don't know, probably sometime this week. I need to get in a schedule at some point, but right now I kind of just do them whenever I have some time. Yeah, I do know Loma. He's the homie. What leverage do I use? Leverage isn't really the important part. It is it's your position sizing that matters. I'm planning to make a comprehensive risk management tutorial at some point. So when am I dropping merch? That's a good question. You guys want Trader Kaz t-shirts? I'm just kidding. All right. I appreciate all your guys' support. I really do. And these streams are honestly fun for me. Just do some charting, talk through things, and be able to interact with you guys in the chat. Did I close my long? Not yet. If this candle closes like this, I probably will. but I haven't yet. Keep us updated in the Telegram. Will do, man. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and let's keep making money together. So, see you guys later.